Thank you for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got a primary affiliate and e-commerce business for sale in the survival niche. Created in January 2017, this business makes $4,039 per month in net profit, and the listing number for the business is 44693. We do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the businesses they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Mike, thank you for coming on here today.
Thanks for having me, Jake.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, and I'm really looking forward to learning from you about how you built this six-figure business here.
Yeah, it's quite the success we've had here for the past about 15, 16 months, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with you.
Awesome. And before we dive into the questions that I have for you, I want to go ahead and run through a little quick summary of the business. Again, the business was built in January of 2017, has a monthly revenue of $22,964, expenses of $18,925 to make for a net profit of $4,039, which is generated on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the primary domain and all site content and files, email list, Facebook page, Facebook VIP group, Facebook Pixel, 2 Instagram accounts, YouTube channel, Shopify account, eBay account, all advertising information and data, supplier contacts, and all funnels associated with this business. Please note that you must currently have an approved AdSense account before purchasing this business to assure a successful migration. Mike, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Sure, yeah. This was my first experience in building an online business as far as the whole spectrum of it. Prior to this, I dabbled in some Amazon FBA, and one of the main reasons for me to build an e-commerce store with multiple streams of income was the fact that I wasn't too thrilled that on Amazon it was a one sale kind of business model where you don't keep customer information, which means that you can't continuously sell to this particular customer or audience. So after dabbling in that for about 6 to 9 months, I wasn't very comfortable with, like I said, Amazon. So I decided to look into other opportunities for me to be able to reach the customer on a more consistent basis and be able to sell them more often. Thus, I came across, Shopify, e-commerce, and that's how I began my journey into, this business.
And I want to touch on a little more about why specifically you've chosen this monetization method in a second. But before we get to that, I want to ask you, why have you decided to sell this business today?
This business is a passion project. I kind of just started it on the side as my kind of like third business, to be honest with you. And I just don't have the time to run it anymore or to grow it. Right now, it's basically just a VA doing most of the work as far as the order fulfillment, posting on social media, taking care of any customer concerns. I'm really limited to the number of hours that I put into the business on a weekly basis. And in order for this business to grow and scale, it needs somebody that can add a little bit of their creative juices to the business and come up with a plan to grow it. And I don't have that time right now. That's why I'm trying to sell.
There are a lot of different monetization channels for this business. For example, we've already mentioned affiliate and e-commerce, but there's also AdSense, advertising, Amazon Associates, a lot of different funnels here. So my question to you is, first, can you go ahead and go into a little more detail about which funnels exactly you're using? And also, why have you chosen these specific monetization methods?
I didn't want to rely on one method of monetization. So little by little, I've been trying to build out different ways to generate revenue. When I first started out, the first thing we did was just Amazon affiliates. And basically what we did was just post links to our social media channels to products that would be of interest to the customers or the audience. So it wasn't technically a means of monetization. It was just for us to understand what our ideal customer was purchasing. And, one of the effects of that was that, we were making revenue on it. The same thing applied to the AdSense. That was started about a month and a half ago. It was just basically just thrown on the site to see if, we can gain revenue from the traffic that was coming through. But it wasn't really one of our main primary funnels or ways to generate revenue for the business. It was just, something that we had on there in case, the new buyers would be interested in that monetization. But the main focus for us was some advertising on Facebook and trying to build our list. And that was what we were expecting to do long run as far as being able to generate consistent revenue was the list building and of course running advertising to specific products that our audience was interested in.
When you look back over the last year and a half since this business is built, did you run into any bumps in the road that has shaped you as an entrepreneur?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. When I first started, within about 2 months, we found a winning product that I thought was going to be, our signature product for the business. And, Facebook can be very finicky as far as, what kind of advertising they allow. So we had a product running for about a month, doing well, really well. And just, overnight, they shut off our ads. They told us that the product couldn't be advertised on Facebook. We appealed it and it ran again for a few weeks. And then they shut it down again. And we were going back and forth constantly with support. And basically, the answer we got would just depend on the particular rep that interpreted our product as okay to advertise or not. So we realized that, we couldn't keep going back and forth and appealing every time somebody would shut off our ads. So what we did was we decided to keep the product as a secondary product that we could sell through funnels, through emails, but we had to start focusing on other products that would help generate revenue. And that's when I realized that I couldn't focus on one particular stream of revenue because if that gets shut off, then you have no business. Thus, we started to, gradually incorporate other revenue streams, which are not our main focus, but it's something that we have that, if the right buyer comes in and they know how to scale that, they could definitely just, scale it to wherever they want it to be. So yeah, I learned that you couldn't focus on one particular source of revenue or one product in order to build the business.
Yeah, I mean, it's the old saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
So that's just really unfortunate that they kept shutting down your ads on that one product and they never gave you a straight answer.
Yes, they gave me an answer, but again, it could be interpreted differently by every rep. We are in the survival niche, so sometimes some of these products can be considered weapons. It wasn't a weapon technically, but if you looked at it as a weapon, you would shut off my ads. If, account rep number B, said it wasn't a weapon, then they would turn the ads back on and they would let it run. But every time there was a review or every time we would start new ads, they would disapprove them. So, it was one of those things that I had to either keep going through that process and spend all that energy in, trying to, win the battle against Facebook or try to take a different route. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what we had to do. We just decided it was too much energy to continue to push the envelope with that product.
Mm-hmm. The sales for the business, or at least the profit level for the business, has remained pretty constant over the last year, excluding a few months. Mainly in January of this year, it was a bit higher, and then June and July of last year, it was a lot higher. So can you talk a little bit about why there is a difference in the numbers for the last 12 months?
Sure. So last summer, we found a product that was seasonal and it did really well for about 3 months. At first, we thought it was going to be an evergreen product that would go year round. But, after looking back at our data and thinking about the product itself, we realized that it was a seasonal product. It's a product that we plan on advertising again in the next few months to take advantage of the season. That's why there was such a significant increase in the volume of the revenue as well as the profits for those months. And as far as January is concerned, we just happened to post, an affiliate product on our Facebook page. And I don't want to say that it went viral, but it got a lot of attention. And we kind of just, started promoting it a little bit on Facebook. We promoted it some, and before you knew it, a month down the line, and we had, done extremely well with that affiliate product as far as sales was concerned. And that's why there was a significant spike in January for that product. The product still sells on occasion, we're not advertising it right now because again, we run into, a similar problem with Facebook as far as the definition of the product. And we just want to make sure that we're within compliance as far as, Facebook is concerned. So that's why you've seen the spikes for those months.
And you anticipate a similar increase this coming summer?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. As long as we can advertise a product, have no issues with any kind of order fulfillment, which we haven't in the past, I'm just, putting it out, we should be fine and we should be able to scale as we did last year.
Mm-hmm. So when talking about marketing then, after this whole deal with Facebook and the controversy you've had with them, do you still utilize Facebook marketing a lot? As I was reading through the assets that the business had, I mentioned Facebook a few times. You have a Facebook page with over 80,000 followers, Facebook VIP group with almost 5,000 followers, and then Facebook Pixel. So clearly you still use it, right?
Yeah, the extent of our Facebook advertising is very limited these days, and it's because of the lack of time that I have. Now, what we're doing right now is just basic posting on the page, whereas in the past, we're actively and aggressively advertising. But, again, the time restraints has really limited what I can do. Yeah, so that means that, everything is pretty much just organic as far as what we're getting on Facebook. There is one ad that runs constantly that it's basically a lead magnet that we get new email subscribers. But other than that, we haven't actively run any campaigns to increase revenue. So yeah, so while we are very active with Facebook, as far as paid advertising, that's very limited.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, there's been a little bit of a decrease in the revenue numbers because of the advertising limitations right now.
Mm-hmm. And with the email list that you have over 35,000 email subscribers. Can you tell me how you use that list?
Yeah, so for starters, we're around 38,000 right now. And we use that list for content. What we do is I've set up an automation, which is I would say about 18 weeks right now. And basically what that does is it drip feeds content to the actual subscribers. It could be daily, it could be, weekly, it just depends on where they are in the automation. It could be every few days. And basically what that does is just kind of send them weekly newsletters, survival topics, some affiliate sales. Yeah, so that's what we do with that, as far as the email list is concerned. The great thing about it is that it's been scrubbed on a monthly basis, which means most of the people on the list are very active and they're engaged with our content.
So you see high open rates and click-through rates on your emails?
I don't know the standard or the industry average for click-throughs, to be honest with you. I'm fairly new to all this. What I've seen was that we've had some decent open rates. We've been hovering around 15%, I think, for some time. We've decreased a little bit on that. I think that the main component for the new buyer is being able to come in here and being able to set it up so that they can get a higher open rate and they can do a better job of getting in front of the customer. Because, again, it's not something that I have experience with. It's just something that I've thrown out there and I've set up. But, if somebody came in and really knew what they were doing, they could really monetize the list and generate income from it.
Mm-hmm. When talking about the specific products, are the products that you're selling through your e-commerce platform private labeled or trademarked?
No, they're not. These are products that can be easily outsourced overseas, or we have some suppliers that are within the US. Technically, you could, make some changes to them to make them private labeled. But right now, they're products that could be purchased overseas or they can be purchased here within the States.
What are some of the major opportunities for growth that you would focus on if you were to keep the business?
I think that the person that would purchase this business, if they had any kind of experience with email marketing, could immediately 10x revenue with the business. The reason why I say that is because, again, I haven't put too much focus on understanding, click-through rates, understanding open rates. And what I do know is I've done a little research. And as far as the host we have right now, which is Active Campaign, is not the greatest for email marketing. So if somebody came in and put their little touch to it, they could definitely increase revenue with an email list. I mean, significantly. I've seen, other stores that have similar sizes and they're doing a lot better. I just, again, limited time, limited experience is the reason why I haven't been able to do it. The other thing is through social media, there's an opportunity to generate more sales, especially through Instagram. We just, crossed, I think, 30,000 followers. That could be monetized as well as, Facebook can be monetized. But primarily, I would say the email list is the number one factor for increasing sales.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned before that you have a VA who helps you run the business, correct?
Yes.
Can you talk about what the VA does on a weekly basis and what that leaves for you? What do you need to do to run the business on a weekly basis?
She pretty much does everything, to be honest with you. She's been trained. So her main focus is customer service. She answers, replies to any emails that customers have any complaints. She fulfills orders, which could be automated if there was an increase. But right now, since, all the orders that are coming in are organic, she basically just manually fulfills them. She also does all the content for us on Instagram and Facebook. She does everything. I've taught her where to find the content. I've taught her what kind of content we're looking for. And she basically has set up, about 30 posts on any one occasion on Instagram and maybe 2 months of posts on Facebook, which keeps the organic visibility of the business in front of our customers. As far as my task is concerned, the only thing I'm worried about is, just maybe once a week, just talk to her, make sure everything's going okay. We have access to each other on a daily basis via Skype, but, we don't talk as often unless there's an issue. And basically what I do is just try to generate content for maybe like an article or two a week. And that takes me a few hours. If I'm playing around, just reading about the niche itself, because it was something that I was interested in learning about, I guess you could consider some of that time spent for the business, but overall, there's only a few hours. And basically what I do is just look for content that I can get in front of my customers, maybe write a couple of posts on our website on a weekly basis. That's about it. That's all I have time for.
Mm-hmm. And you write the post yourself, you said?
Yeah, most of the posts I've written myself, yes. Yes.
Do you know if the VA is interested in continuing to work with the business when a new owner takes over?
We've had the discussion. And absolutely, she said she'll stay on board. She would be happy to continue to do her job.
Are there any significant risks that you see a new owner encountering when they run the business?
This is my first business in e-commerce. I can't see anything off the top of my mind that would be a significant risk. Like everything else, as long as they continue to post and they continue to test products in the niche, it should continue to grow. But off the top of my head, I can't think of any significant risk, no.
Mm-hmm. Would you commit to a non-compete?
Absolutely.
How much support are you willing to offer a buyer during the transition period?
I think when we initially spoke, before I put the business up for sale, I think that, I'd be open to communication via Skype and I guess you could say meetings or conferences as needed for a month just to make sure the transition goes smoothly. Pretty flexible to that. As long as we can sit down and commit to a certain number of hours needed, I could definitely help out with that.
Are you willing to negotiate on something like an earnout?
Yes.
Awesome. Mike, thank you so much for the time here today. Before we wrap up here, I want to ask you a little more about your experience when growing the business and, start by asking, is there anyone who inspired you while building this business who our listeners might like as well?
Yeah, I think that somebody to really follow and has really changed my mindset and has helped me understand the whole business model of e-commerce and funnels would be Trey Llewellyn. I mean, he's a very, very well-respected e-commerce business owner in the space and online marketing. He's also an online marketer, and he's one of the ones that I've been following and has really, given me ideas as to how to implement different strategies in order to grow the business.
What advice would you give to our listeners that you wish had been given to you when you were starting this business?
That's a great question. I think that the one thing that I continuously run into, and I haven't done a good job, of course, because of limited time, is to always keep testing. Always keep testing, always keep trying new ways to find sources, I guess you could say, of revenue and to understand what your customers want in order to grow the business. So test, test, test.
It's funny. We're sitting here talking to you. I'm having just a pleasant conversation with someone who built a 6-figure business. Is that not just the most insane thing to you that you accomplished this?
Yeah, I mean, I still can't believe it, to be honest with you. Like, it happened so fast,
Hmm.
and it's been a great ride. It's been a great learning experience. I mean, I have so much more to learn. Hopefully, I can get back to, doing more of this. But, I can tell you for the last 16 months, I mean, it's been wow. It's been such an amazing experience. I mean, I talk to people now and I tell them what I've done, and they're like, yeah, you're talking to me in a different language. Like, I have no idea what the heck you're talking about. So it's been pretty cool, to be honest.
Is there anything else you want to mention about the business that we've missed today?
Yeah, the one thing I would say, for anybody who's interested in this business, while it would be ideal to have an AdSense account, it's not really, I guess you could say, mandatory because of the fact that, we just recently started advertising or using AdSense in our website. So it's not a significant portion of the revenue that's made. So, I would, if that was a concern, I wouldn't be concerned for that. And secondly, I mean, I honestly think that whoever comes in here and uses that email list to their advantage they will knock it out of the park and they'll be making their money back within no time.
And another thing to note on the AdSense account, if anyone listening is wondering about that, we do have more information on setting up an AdSense account available for you on the listing page. So you can go ahead and check that out on empireflippers.com if you are looking for more information about that. Now, Mike, before I let you go here today, I do have one more question for you. But before we get to that, I want to go ahead and run through that little quick summary of the business again. The business was built in January of 2017, has a monthly revenue of $22,964, expenses of $18,925 to make for a net profit of $4,039, which is generated on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the primary domain and all site content and files, email list, Facebook page, Facebook VIP group, Facebook pixel with data, 2 Instagram accounts, YouTube channel, Shopify account, eBay account, all advertising information and data, supplier contacts, and all funnels associated with this business. Mike, can you give me, in your own words, your best 30-second pitch on why someone should purchase this business?
Absolutely, yeah. So if you're looking for a lifestyle business or if you're looking to continue to grow your portfolio, this business would be the right opportunity for you. All you have to do is use the assets that we've built to generate that steady stream of income throughout the year. Or, like I said before, scale the business with the email list and everything we have to offer, and you can 10x what you want to make with this particular business. It's ready to go. Just need somebody with creative passion. And I have no doubt that you'll make your money back and more in the next few months.
And it can also be extremely passive for someone.
Absolutely, yes. That's why I mentioned a lifestyle business. If you just wanted to just run on what's going on right now, you could definitely do that.
Fantastic. Mike, thank you so much for taking the time with me today. I really, really appreciate getting you on the phone here today, and I've enjoyed our conversation.
Thanks, Jake. I appreciate it.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing site and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make the deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you, and you'll be given everything you need to review this business. Have a great day.